What's up, guys? It's Smalls and
Biggs.
Wow. That's the second time, guys. Okay.
You don't want to know what the first one was like?
Comment below if you want to know what the first thing was like.
Yeah. Now on, I'm just gonna start saving all the first times, just for like those one day we would just
Like
go
a
release it
blooper
all.
reel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But as you see, Biggs is not here. Chance is not here today. He's out sick, but we got Amethyst and we got Matt, and they're here. We're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be epic. You want to introduce the topic or me?
I'll let you do it.
Okay. We're doing overrated and underrated movies and actors and actresses. Mm-hmm. Do we want to start with the actors first or movies?
I don't have a preference. I feel like either way is a good way to start.
Let's start with the movies.
Okay.
Okay, let me pull up the first movie. Unless Matt got it. You got it?
Nope.
Okay. You researched them earlier. First movie is Scooby-Doo live action 2002.
Man.
I have a special rule too. There's a special rule where you only get to say it once. That movie is perfectly rated. Where it's like perfect. Even actor or actress is just one. Throughout this whole podcast, there's one where it's perfectly. They just rated the right amount.
I don't know if I consider like any movie or actor perfect, to be honest. Like,
Perfectly rated.
Perfectly rated.
Like
not
they're
perfect.
not overhyped or underhyped.
Oh.
They're
the
just
right
like the.
amount.
Okay, I
right,
thought you meant
they're in the
perfect.
crease.
I was
No,
like,
no,
gotcha.
no.
No, like perfectly, like they
And
are.
that's
they
Ryan
are
Reynolds.
like right in the middle. They're like they're not overrated. They're not underrated. They're just they get the amount of clout they should. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Like they're in this sweet spot.
Well,
Okay, so what's your opinion about Scooby-Doo live action 2002? I had to get like the year down because I don't want to be like the other one.
yeah, the one where they're like the high school students one.
Yeah.
It's like the third one. Yeah.
And I also wanted to make sure you guys know which one I'm talking about because I love it. Okay, it's I have to say it's a little bit underrated nowadays.
It's older.
Yeah, like it can't be that good. It's
Is it
live
on
action.
any of like the major streaming platforms? Like where
I think so.
It was.
Where is it
It was
around?
like on.
Can the kids see
It was on
Can the
HBO.
kids these days
Well, why don't
get
you're
to
the
it?
one with the laptop?
It was
Look up.
on Max a little bit ago. I don't know if it's still on there.
Yeah. I'm tempted to give this movie like it's perfectly rated though. I don't want to drop that too early, so maybe I'll come back to that.
There
but
are some good movies later on.
I feel
that,
like it's like the epitome of what like perfect camp is. It's like it doesn't take itself seriously. It's very like, it's that perfect kind of blend of like satire and over the top camp that just kind of comes together and is like, and I mean, come on, like the Fred and
Daphne.
and now they're still
And then they
married.
they got married in real life.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've been married since the movie.
Like I found that out a couple years ago, but I watched it growing up. I was like, imagine like if they married in real life, and I found out they were. And I was like, this is amazing. I love when that happens.
Yeah.
Or it's like the two romantic leads are actually married in real life.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, I think if I wasn't giving it like a perfect rating, I'd say like probably underrated because I feel like that movie does I feel like it holds up. I mean, like if you grew up on the animated Scooby-Doo and you watch that, you're like, oh, this is what a live action should be.
Yeah, it does it right where it doesn't like try to go too much cartoonish because there's a lot of movies that do like live action and like let's just amp it up to 10 and make it look like basically a cartoon with just live actors. But it's the perfect sweet where it's based in reality enough where you could believe it happened on a random island off somewhere. So, yeah, I think it's underrated.
Yeah.
How about you, Matt?
Um,
You're part of this.
I didn't have too many memories of it, but I have IMDb pulled up in case I want to look up any directors or producers or actors. and just by happenstance, the trailer is kind of playing. And I'm watching Daphne do some WWE moves that I certainly do not remember from the movie. So based on that, I'm going underrated. This movie's underrated.
Yeah, she was epic. I love how they made her like epic in the movies.
They really did. Like they made both like Velma and Daphne very like girl boss, but like in a good way.
Yeah,
because they still kept like their femininity.
It wasn't forced where they're like, look at me, no one can stop me. It was more like they just happen to be like these unstoppable characters, but yet they had their more feminine side. Oh, I can't speak today. But they still can be gentle and kind of people, and they can like do both, and it's not too much.
I feel like you really see in the live action version like how truly useless Shaggy is, though.
Yeah.
Like you're like, this guy is just like a stoner who eats the whole time.
Exactly.
And he does not contribute.
I love Matthew Lillard that when he played Shaggy. It's just perfect Shaggy I'll ever see.
It is, and I feel like that's the thing. It's like the casting is so good for like all the characters. I mean, where do you find a dog like that can do all that stuff?
I know, like it was pretty good CGI for when it came out. So it holds up. But yeah, so that's underrated for all of us.
I might come back and make it like perfect.
Okay.
Because I feel like people still. I don't know what the younger generations are saying, but.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if kids have seen it.
Well, I think nowadays, if you see it as a kid nowadays, you might like it. But I'm saying when people hear live action nowadays of like cartoons, stuff like that, they instantly think it's bad.
Yeah, I feel like Disney has really kind of done that. You know, it's kind of like, oh, it's going to be the exact same thing, but boring.
Exactly. So they're like, oh, that means the Scooby-Doo one's just terrible. I should just stick to like the cartoon movies and stuff like that, which are also good. I grew up on Scooby-Doo. You guys know I love Scooby-Doo. It's my favorite thing. I grew up with it. It's my childhood show.
Scooby-Doo is OG?
It 2017.
Ooh.
I'm going to start with Matt this time.
Yeah.
Matt, what is your thoughts on it?
I'm confused. Is this when they're older or when they're younger?
Younger one.
When they're younger?
Mm-hmm. The first one.
That one you're talking about didn't come out like 2018 or 2019. The older one.
I remember because I saw it in Europe. I saw it in Germany.
Yeah.
I liked it. I
thought it was overrated, underrated.
I didn't get why it was being done again. It just felt like one of those movies that was just being done again to be done again to make money.
Yeah.
But I was entertained enough that I guess it's fine. I don't know. I think for the cast and for the fun of that, I'll say underrated. I liked the cast.
Nice. Nice.
I liked the kids.
Okay.
I did like the cast. I thought the cast was really strong.
And
they kind of, I think, lost that in like the sequel a little bit.
They did.
Because they put the kids back in the sequel, but they were totally arbitrary scenes. But
maybe I should have did the other one.
No, but like I feel like I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I thought the sequel was so bad. Like I thought it was really bad and everyone thought it was bad. So but
I feel like if it was a shorter movie it'd be better, but they made it like so long.
Yeah.
So it's just and a lot of stuff they had in it was like you could just like cut that out. And the movie would have been fine.
Well, it felt like all those scenes in the sequel like with the kids could have been cut out. Like
you could have cut that out and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Moved on.
But
what about you? Underrated?
Overrated? I don't think it's underrated. Okay. I think it's, but I don't know that it's overrated either. Like I feel like it was.
Do you need me to add like a little bit overrated?
Okay. I feel like it's a little bit overrated, but maybe I'm just thinking about when it came out in its time. Because when it came out in its time, it was very much like, oh, that's like so cool, and like everyone liked it, and kids liked it especially. I remember because it was kind of like when. I don't think it was in high school when it. Yeah, no, I graduated in 2017, so I was in high school when it came out, and then like I remember like. It was kind of one of those where you had all age demographics at the theater, which was cool. And I do know that after working with kids now, it's like that's still prevalent. Like I dressed up as Pennywise for Halloween. Like, all the kids knew who I
Yeah.
was. So, I don't know. But I don't know if I'd say it's, like, overrated. Maybe a little bit overrated.
Okay,
That's where I'll
a little
land.
bit overrated. I'll have to land a little bit underrated. And why I'm saying that is it's more of I see a lot of people compare that in the original. And they're like, well, this one was 10 times better because of how, like, unique it was in the characters and all that stuff and blah, 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 blah. But then you look at, like, the 2017 one, and it's just the cast they had were amazing. Pennywise was scary, and they hired a good actor for him that just scared the kids. Even on set, you hear like stories of him just going around scaring them and all that stuff. I feel like it's a little bit underrated for that, where people just be like, because it comes from Stephen King, because he's a big name nowadays, that it has to be top 10 best thing ever, sort of thing.
I feel like it truly was like a blockbuster movie, though, which was cool.
It was, but now after like 14 different movies got made, it's like, that wasn't that good, sort of thing. I was like, it doesn't hold up. It still kind of does, where it's like, if you're watching it on like a late night, snuggling up, it's a good movie just to watch. Throw it on, get a little bit scared, sort of thing. Yeah.
Sounds like you're leaning pretty middle on that too, though.
I am.
Yeah.
Like, I see both sides. Like, it does get,
for sure.
like, but, yeah. I'll go a little bit. Like, a tiny, tiny bit underrated.
Okay.
There you go.
I think with the hood up, you're kind of dressed up as Georgie.
Georgie.
Wow. Okay, have you seen the original Scream?
I have not.
Okay.
I have nothing to say about that
You
one.
said you might have?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen any of the other ones. And then I also think that I confuse Scream with Scary Movie.
Oh no, that's very different.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Scary Movie is just a parody.
I was gonna do Scary
It's a
Movie,
parody of
though.
Scream.
Yeah, but it's
And
not.
horror
But
movies.
it's not Scream.
Have you seen Scary Movie, though?
I have, but like I was so young, like I barely remember it. But so yes, it's like, but I don't know. Parody movies are not the source material. You can't count them.
No.
I don't think Scream was enough of a
No.
thriller horror that it cemented itself as entirely different than Scary Movie in my head.
Oh no, so you're thinking it's
Wow.
overrated for sure then, huh?
You think it's overrated.
That may be me saying that
Yeah.
it's overrated.
Okay. I don't know, just the fact that like there's how many in the series now, and I've never felt the desire to like go back and watch the
6.
first one. Yeah.
7.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I'll go overrated. Not that my opinion matters on that because I haven't seen it, but never felt inclined to go watch it. So
I'll have to do underrated again. And the reason why I'm doing that is because it's the first one. A lot of the first, like, people are like, oh, well, like, number, like, 47 is the best. But the first is, like, the classic it brought in. At that time, all people were thinking when they went into a horror movie was, like, either some possessed stuff or a one killer sort of thing. So it, like, kind of flipped on its head. It, like, changed the way you think of slasher movies, where it's like, oh, maybe they could be, like, 7 killers, 2 killers, 3 killers. No longer just, oh, it's just one guy in a hockey mask chasing you around, sort of thing.
what's like the log line to this film? Like what's the synopsis? A 1-sentence synopsis.
There's always 2. There you go. Because there's always 2 killers. It's a running thing. But yeah, the first one was definitely the best. And I might be a little bit biased because I grew up watching Scream and stuff like that. But
Nostalgic colored glasses.
Porcelain, I've watched back. It was good. It definitely was For its time, it was good. Yeah. But it is a little bit overrated too. I'll bet that.
You can't just keep. You can't just keep picking both.
I did it on the first one.
Final answer.
A
Over
little
or
bit
under?
underrated. There you go.
Okay. Fine.
Crazy Rich Asians. Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah, but I watched it on a plane and I was like falling asleep. So I have such mixed reviews on this. Maybe
Okay.
don't start with me.
Yeah,
Maybe
let's
just
start with you.
you this time.
With me?
Yes, you start this time.
Oh, I haven't watched it in a while, but I remember watching it. I don't know about the hype. I know a couple people that like it. Me, I think it's a little bit overrated. I know. Don't get mad at me if you guys like it, but I think it's a little bit overrated. Little bit. Because people are like, it's a perfect love story. And I'm like, it's funny, but it's no 5 feet apart.
Is that Kobe's favorite movie?
Yeah.
That's so funny to me.
I was the one that showed him to it, too.
So funny to me.
Yeah. So, it's a dark love movie, but yeah. What? It's one of your two towards. Which one?
Oh,
You go.
it's fun, exciting. It's well cast. It's emotional. I'm gonna say it's underrated. With all of the hype, it's still underrated.
So you really like it?
I really, really, really like it.
I'm sorry that like a little bit
Came at
overrated.
you.
I said a little bit, okay?
I think it's one of
Little
those
bit.
like movies that's just like a movie story. It's not supposed to be like this is a true love
Groundbreaking.
story. I think it is supposed to
I
tug
think
at emotional
yeah,
strings,
it might.
but
If I rewatch it with like that sort of light, I might like it. But watching it thinking it's a love story, it was like
yeah, that'd be a
It is.
tough
It's
lens
like it's
to
a classic
swallow.
rom-com. So
Yeah.
no. So like I do want to rewatch it just because like when I did watch it, I was falling asleep. But like at first when I first watched it, I was like, oh, this is definitely overrated. Like I don't understand the hype. This is just a rom-com, but a popular one for nowadays because like the rom-com era was very heavily like the early 2000s. It started in the 90s and then went through like the early 2000s with like really big hitters, you know. But then like after that, I was like, no, but like when have we had a movie with this kind of cast that's like highlighting, you know, like South Pacific, Asian, you know, specifically like in this way with this care and detail in the story, shedding such like a positive light on like this subculture in like predominantly very white Hollywood. And it's like after that and then after kind of seeing the story for like what it is, it's a very movie rom-com love story. It's like it's not meant to be anything but, and so I was like, okay, actually in that case, even with the hype, I do think it's underrated because of like the cultural significance too of like bringing a rom-com back into popularity after like the era of rom-coms has like passed.
Bringing it back into popularity and doing it well.
Yeah.
the element. They did do it well. I love how they did like a whole, was it an all Asian like cast? Mm-hmm. I love that they did that because I've said this before, but I'm like a little bit Japanese. If you look at my grandma, my great grandma, they're definitely Japanese.
That makes sense.
But so I grew up with that, and it was fun seeing that and seeing a whole cast. That was just mainly Asians from all over, but I still said it was a little bit hyped. That's just because a lot of people are like it's top one or
Like
top
the
like 3
rom-com. Yeah,
exactly.
sure.
And that I'm like, I don't know. I love what it does, but I'm like, I don't know if it's number one.
Yeah, I don't think it's like the best rom-com ever made,
Yeah.
but I do think it's up there.
It's
especially
definitely
for
good.
what it is. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not. If you guys love it, That's good. It's a good movie.
Dom
I just think
bad.
it's just not.
Dom says you're wrong for
You're right. It's terrible. Just do the whole.
In the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, just add only that part to like TikTok. It's terrible.
We slice it together.
Flame.
Crazy Rich Asians is
Terrible.
overrated. Terrible.
Yeah, but no, it definitely has its charm about it. I just don't like that people say it's number one because I don't know if it is. I haven't seen all the. What?
It will come up. I have something for later. Spider-Man 2000, right?
Sam Raimi
2002.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
Haha.
What do you guys think about it?
So this film is so nostalgic for me. So it's like trying to separate.
That's
the, like,
why I picked it.
grew up
I
with it.
grew up with
Nostalgia.
it too.
Okay, so this has always been my thing.
I would change it to like which Spider-Man you like.
Like a little bit, but
Okay.
like overall, Andrew Garfield was probably the truest Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire, I think, was the truest Peter Parker. I think Tom Holland was the truest modern Spider-Man, like combined with Peter Parker, because technology like that didn't exist like in the comic books and in the you know like that universe. I think Sam Raimi just does such a good job of emanating that like classic comic book feel, like I don't know, just in like the different like panel designs in the filmmaking. I thought that was really cool. I don't know. I think this movie is still looked back upon as like one of the greats. Like it is. Like everyone loves Spider-Man Homecoming in that series, but people still look back on Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, especially Spider-Man 2, and most people would say like Spider-Man 2 is like one of the best. So I think this movie is like, I'm dropping my perfect. This is the perfectly
you doing
rated
it perfect?
because it is. I do think it's perfectly rated. I don't think people are like saying like, it was good, but for its day. I don't think people are like, oh, it was the best Spider-Man ever. They're like, no, that was like good for its time, good casting, good comic book feel to it. Spider-Man 2 is still one of the best. So, yeah, perfect rating.
So you dropped it. You can't use it no more.
I did. I'm gonna probably like regret that or something.
You
but
could.
I do feel like that. I do feel like
You
this
have
is perfectly rated.
one move, okay? Just in case you're like, there's something else that popped up that I really like. You have one move, so you could place it once.
So there's
and
one
move it
perfect
once.
and there's one move. So
I'm not gonna move it. I've dropped it. It's down
stay there. Okay.
I can't fit my hand to like reach in and take it back. So
I have to go. It's a little bit underrated nowadays, and that's because if you look a lot on like the internet and all that stuff, people are like the Tobey Maguire's, all that stuff. Those movies suck compared, and then the ones that they look fondly back on because it was early 2010s was the Andrew Garfields, because Tobey Maguire was early 2000s. So if you didn't grow up in the 2000s, then you're like, oh, what is that movie? Why does it look not like Tom Holland does Spider-Man? So I think, if you grow up in the 2000s, you love those movies. And if you were like late 2000s, early 2010s, you'd have a passion, you have appreciation for those movies. But if you grew up after like 2012, I think you're more towards Andrew Garfield. And as the look back fondly on. That's why I say it's a little bit underrated, because those movies, they did a perfect thing of inspiring these, just inspiring more comic book movies to be made, like Iron Man. After that, the X-Men movies, like all that, like those beginning movies set like a trend that nowadays all the kids can watch stinking She-Hulk and stuff like that now.
it's so interesting, like the whole bidding war, I guess, and like fight over custody of Spider-Man. Do you know like about that and like
how it like in early 2000s when Sony had them, Disney didn't even want them. But after they did the whole like Tom Holland stuff, they're like, we gotta have him. Kids love him.
They're like, please let him come play with his friends.
Sony doesn't want to do that. Not just because it's like the big hit, But if they do that, they give the rights to like Miles Morales and a bunch of other characters that they made a fantastic movie with, Spider-Verse. So they're like, I don't want to give that up.
Yeah.
I like that too much.
It's just crazy that it's been happening for like 20 plus years.
Yeah. It's insane.
I don't know. A lot of nostalgia.
A lot of nostalgia.
Enjoying Spider-Man growing up.
So you're going to put the perfectly too?
No.
Or are you going to do underrated?
Save my perfectly.
Overrated?
I'm going to say that it's underrated because of all of the, just like the different discourse for like who's the best. Spider-Man has kind of like caused just a war of arguing and just down talking other things instead of uplifting it. So I feel like when somebody says Andrew Garfield is the best, because I feel like more often than not, they're not really trying to enjoy each movie for what it is.
It's hard to enjoy those Andrew Garfield ones.
Like the Tobey Maguire is like them figuring out how to make a superhero movie that looks good. And the Andrew Garfield one was like them experimenting with like CGI and stuff.
Definitely.
And then Tom Holland was like, well, Disney will just gonna spend a lot of money and it's gonna look good, sort of thing.
But it also just was good. Like it was.
Disney has a lot of money, so they could buy whoever they want. And they went like Tom Holland, got good cast for him, like Zendaya, everybody they hired, and then they made a good movie. They had enough money to get good CGI, good costumes, all that stuff.
Well, I love what like No Way Home did for all the Spider-Mans though, and like the discourse, how it kind of like made them all valid again. It was like, they're each from their own little universe, and their stories are all different, but they're all there, and they're all Spider-Man. So I liked that, and I like that it kind of shut down a lot of the like arguing, at least. So
yeah.
I was poking around on the IMDb page and found out that the carjacker from Spider-Man, the actor's name is Michael Papajohn.
I like that. That's good.
What? Wow.
Wanted to just say that.
That's great.
Okay, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
Which one is that?
I think that's like the
Number
sixth
5.
movie. Fifth movie?
Number 5.
That's one off!
It's number 5. It's number 5.
I bet,
It's
to be honest, I haven't watched Harry Potter in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long
I
time.
binge watched it with my cousin when I was like 14 or 15. Went over to her house and binge watched all the movies because she loves them.
Same.
But yeah, I just looked up because I was like, we have to at least have one Harry Potter one, or you guys will get mad. So I was like, which one? I was gonna do the first one, but I was like, no, that's too easy.
Who's the villain in this one? Remind me, because that will help. That will jog my memory.
Look it up. Go.
Yeah, who's the bad? Who's
Go.
the bad teacher?
Look up. Who's the bad guy?
Who's the bad teacher? The villain's always the teacher. So who's the bad dark arts teacher in this one?
Well, in the Order of the Phoenix, it's coming hot off the tail of Goblet of Fire, where Lord Voldemort returns.
I remember
but
that. Yes.
The people.
Oh,
who
you
believe
like?
it,
Did you just watch all of these? Or,
No, he's a crazy fan.
You're a crazy fan of Harry Potter.
Harry Potter fan. Yeah.
Wow.
But the wizarding world isn't ready to believe Harry and Dumbledore, so there's a full smear campaign against them. And so everyone's turned against Harry except for his closest friends. But in the end, it's revealed that Voldemort's back after a large duel in the Ministry of Magic in the atrium.
So who's the dark arts teacher in this one? Is it the pink lady? Is it this one, or was that a different one?
Oh, no, this one is Pink Lady.
Okay, yeah, no, I hate this film. She annoys
So
me.
overrated.
Overrated for sure. I hate her
'Cause there
so
was, like,
much that it's like
the
a cheese
fourth
grater
movie.
to my soul.
I looked at this website, like ranked all of them, and it was like the fourth.
This is why I think it's overrated though, because it's not just that I like cannot stand Pink Lady. I don't care what her name is. I'm sorry, Potter fans.
Dolores Umbridge.
Yes. But the whole movie is just like, it's fail after fail after fail. It's one of those frustrating movies where it's like the characters aren't succeeding until the very end. So like, I don't find those movies fun to watch. It's disappointing. It's just, it's there's like not even really moments of like hope or glimmer because it's just the main character constantly like getting batted down. And it's like, it's different in films that kind of have this like, oh, but we're starting a rebellion, or like we have this secret whole thing going on, which they kind of do in the film, but it's like constantly just like, you know it's gonna fail, and then it does, and then it's the end of the movie. So I do think this one is overrated, and it's like, I'm sorry, but number 6, which is the next one, and that's where Dumbledore dies, right? In the next one.
Spoilers.
Oh, it's not a spoiler. Everyone should. These movies came out like 15 years ago. That
coming
movie
up, they're coming out with a show.
Much better. Oh, don't even get me started on that. Stop remaking things that don't need to be remade.
I don't like that movie.
You don't like which movie? The next one?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you're wrong. Okay.
Because overrated.
Because
Fine.
Dumbledore
We're talking about
dies.
this movie.
Because Dumbledore dies. Like,
I feel like that one's the best one. I feel like that one is one of the best
I haven't seen them in so long, so like, I know Isaac like watched them like a couple months ago for Caitlin because she loves them. But I'm like, maybe I should watch them. But then I was like, actually, I'm just gonna go watch this like anime show real quick.
So, overrated, underrated.
I haven't seen it in a while. I'm like trying to like, okay. Overrated. A little bit overrated. So a little bit, okay? I haven't watched it in a while. I bet you if I would go, I'll have to go back and watch it. Like next time, I'll do that for Matt. Next time we have you on, Matt, it's just like me and you, maybe Chance. It'll be after I watch every Harry Potter, and we could talk about them. But that
Just a whole
make
Harry
you
Potter
happy?
podcast.
Would that make you happy,
analysis
Matt?
each movie. So, overrated or underrated?
Harry Potter podcast live.
Hey, we could do it live. We could have like a Twitch thing, and we'll just watch every Harry Potter, rank them after we're done. There you go. You just come over,
Did
and
you?
we'll just
You didn't answer
do
yet.
that.
No, I didn't answer.
Okay, answer
No.
the question.
What do
I'm
you
gonna
think?
say underrated.
You're wrong.
A lot of the
Underrated.
fans,
Okay.
this is their least favorite book, and so they also have a tendency to just not like the movie because they didn't like the book. But I was a very rebellious, unruly teenager, and so this book resonated with me.
This book resented me.
Whoa.
He kept trying to stop me
Okay.
from reading it.
So underrated?
Underrated.
Like how underrated? Very underrated or just underrated?
Put more respect on Order of the Phoenix.
So very
I
underrated.
will not, but
Okay.
that's okay.
Next one.
It's okay that you're wrong.
You might know it. It's like a classic nowadays. Ghostbusters, the original. What is your guys' thoughts?
I saw it and I remember nothing except there's a big marshmallow that walks around.
Yes.
I think I saw the ending on TV once.
Man, you haven't watched
I
it?
haven't watched it.
Oh,
I feel
you
really
gotta
bad
watch
too
it.
because it's one of those movies that just kind of fell through, like that I
Yeah.
just like always meant to watch and never did. I do remember there being a ghost
definitely have those
blowjob. I do
movies.
remember that part. And
Are
then
you
they
thinking
won.
about the scary movie too?
No, that happened in Ghostbusters. I do remember that because I was so little and I was like, ah.
That also happens in Scary Movie too. Like,
I think that's probably a parody of Ghostbusters then, like
Oh.
that part, yeah. No, and then
Yeah.
I remember like them winning in the end and the slime and stuff. I was a big Bill Murray fan growing up,
Yeah.
so I'm sure I would have liked the movie. It's probably overrated because it's more of a test to its time. It was good for its time,
Yeah.
but is it actually that good now, or do we just like it because it was a nostalgic 80s film? So
I go a tiny, tiny bit underrated. The only reason I do that is because I love the movie. I grew up on it. I can't hate on it.
like you're just straight up like it's underrated because I like it.
I like it. Okay, I grew up. I love Mr. Puff. Okay, that's what I call the big, huge marshmallow dude, Mr. Puff.
Is that his real name?
He's like something Puff Doughboy. Something like that. Pillsbury Doughboy.
No,
That's
that's
what it
not it. That is not it.
It's something like that. I don't remember his name. I just call him Mr. Puff. And yeah, all the other aliens. I love the little doggies though. the demon doggies. They were cool. Yeah. And then the weird lady that was screaming about keys. The keyholes. That was, yeah. I just love that movie just because of the big Marshmallow Man. Big up for Marshmallow Man, guys. I'll have to rewatch it, and then it'll probably change. Lord of the Rings.
Like all of them?
I'm having Matt choose which one.
Oh.
Oh, no. Do we just go with the first one?
Yeah, let's go first one then. Which is, I don't
The
know.
Fellowship of the Rings, 2001.
Give us your thoughts.
Your thoughts?
I didn't see these until the end of high school. So I didn't grow up with them. So I didn't have any nostalgia for it. But watching it in high school, I really liked it. So I guess it held up 15 years after its release.
So is it going to be a perfect, or is it going to be underrated, overrated?
You know what? I'm throwing out the perfect.
Oh,
It's
Yeah,
good.
I
got
thought
the
you were
perfect.
I
Good.
saw this in the list. I thought you were going to do
It's
this.
good. People like it. And
It is good.
people should like it. It's fun. It's good.
I don't know what, like,
Adventure, camaraderie,
Yeah.
bravery.
I don't know what to say, because
Pretty great.
I grew up with Lord of the Rings also, but I'm like, I like it. At the same time, I don't remember a lot about the
That's
movies.
sad. You gotta go watch them again then. They hold up.
I probably should, but they're long.
Yeah, but they're worth
Even
it.
though I
They're
just
worth
did
it.
a
You just watch
DC
one a
binge.
night. What, DC binge? Ew, if you're willing to do
Whoa,
that.
whoa! I was watching the canonical like timeline real quick
No.
because I did that for
I don't
Marvel
actually
when I
need
had
that. I'm just
COVID.
talking about it. Did you watch The Flash?
No, not yet.
Oof.
When I had COVID, I had nothing to do, so I watched every single Marvel movie.
Nice.
What did we just learn? This has been bothering me. What did we just learn about the canon of Barbie? That like Barbie hangs out at Wendy's
Oh,
or
at
something?
Waffle House.
Waffle House.
Yeah.
Yes.
Barbie hangs out at Waffle House. Yep. Barbie Diaries, like 2005 or whatever.
Hangs out at Waffle House.
Yeah, she does.
But I'm probably gonna say
Awesome.
it's. I don't know. Oh, like not a lot, but like literally like 0.1% overrated. 0.1%.
What?
Like barely overrated.
I'll flip you. I'll do 0.1% underrated then, because I would also
okay.
say this is like a perfect one, because
It is
But-
a perfect movie. I don't know. I love the movies. I just don't want to give it the perfect because there's a movie coming up that I love. And I'm gonna give perfect too.
okay. That's unfair. You guys
Saving
knew
a
the
perfect.
movies,
That's why.
and I didn't know
I
them.
didn't know anything.
Actually, I'll do
So
underrated.
I know all the
point.
actors and actresses.
Nah,
so.
I'll keep it 0.1 overrated. I feel like there's too many people that are out there that are like it's the masterpiece, like it's the best movie ever created. No movie or topic.
Name
I'm like
drop.
that's
Who
hard.
said that it's the best movie ever created?
I've heard people online,
Probably Jeffrey
That's
Bezos.
something. Dropping.
and yeah, I'm not saying it's a fantastic movie. I don't know if it's the best. I haven't watched all the movies, so personally, it's like top 5, but it's not number 1.
It's pretty up there though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I do know that this is like the trilogy is like their top favorite movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not surprised. I'm like, yeah, no,
I
that
got
makes sense.
movies that are ahead of it. All right, X-Men 2000.
Never seen any of the X-Men films.
What?
Not a single one except for Deadpool, if you can count him.
We'll
About
just
Deadpool 2.
yeah,
Nope,
we'll
just
just
Deadpool.
okay. We'll switch it to. Have you seen X-Men 2000? We'll just do Deadpool. Switch it to Deadpool.
Okay, Deadpool's more fun anyway. I think Deadpool.
I just love the X-Men.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I thought Deadpool was super overrated. Like I thought it was I thought it
overrated?
was super fun. I thought it was. I think Ryan Reynolds is perfect as Deadpool, but people are like obsessed, like obsessed. Like the Deadpool stickers on people's bumpers, like Deadpool shirts, the memes that came out of it. It was just like this like whoosh of like Deadpool is the coolest ever because he says the F word and he talks to me at home. So I don't know. I just felt like people ran with that way too much.
I get that. Yeah.
I don't know. So I think it's a good film, but I didn't think it warranted like the crazy amount of fandom that came out of it.
Yeah. That's true. I don't know. What about you?
I think the movie is underrated, but
I think,
hype and the fandom is way, way, way overrated.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
I think of it like I think the same for Rick and Morty. Like the show is underrated, but the fans and the hype and all of that is way overrated.
I was literally thinking of Rick and Morty too as I was saying this.
Because the movie itself is like good, but then there's this one fans that like post the 4 million same meme over and over, and you're like, come on, I know it was a good movie, but you don't need to like post 4,000 times about Deadpool. I'm unfollowing.
They, like, personally identify with Deadpool. I'm like, what are you on about?
I'm like, dude kills people for a living. I don't know if you want to be identified, like, want to be him. He's a cool dude, but I don't know if I want to be him. That's a terrible life. You got people after you all the time.
Indeed.
Ugh. But you can't die. But have you seen his face? You don't want to be like him. You saw the last one?
I did.
Do you want to read it off then?
Ratatouille.
Oh. Yeah, this is my perfect. I give it to Ratatouille. I love it. I grew up watching it, and it's my favorite like Disney movie of all time. Pixar movie. That or I forgot the other one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's what?
It's like my favorite movie or my other favorite movie that I can't remember right now.
I'm trying to remember if Cars is made by Disney or Pixar.
Disney,
okay.
Pixar,
Yeah, the first Cars. It's either that or Ratatouille. Yeah, but Ratatouille's a little bit above it because it spawned like my love for like cooking and stuff
and
like
rats?
that. Yeah, actually, I had pet rats.
Whoa!
I had pet rats
lately.
But yeah, for a while I had pet rats.
How many rats? What were their names?
I don't remember.
Welcome to Rat Chat, our new segment, Rat Chat.
No,
let's go.
I'm sorry. Have you seen?
I think
any
I had
good
one named
rats
like
lately?
Bob or Tom.
Tom?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I named like my first one Ratatouille.
Aw.
And then he died. And then I just named them like simple names like Bob and Tim.
I thought you said Bob and Tom.
Bob, Tom, Tim. I had like 5.
It's a lot of rats.
So then once they all died, it was sad. Yeah. But yeah, we used to breed rats.
Okay.
Because my mom had a pet snake, and it was cheaper than going and buying rats all the time.
That makes sense.
And then they all died during winter because our garage was not ventilated.
Oh.
So that was sad.
Yikes.
That's where I'd pick my rats out to be pets. What?
This movie, Ratatouille.
Oh, yeah. Ratatouille is actually a really good movie. It was perfectly rated. I think it doesn't get overrated. It doesn't get underrated. It's just okay. We're back.
Want it? Just delete it.
What were we talking about last? Ratatouille.
Okay, so we left off on overrated, underrated.
It's gone.
You gave your
About it. Ratatouille being my perfect.
Did Matt answer?
I didn't.
Okay. Answer and also share the knowledge that you've just found on Will Arnett.
Will Arnett's in this movie, so I'm going to say that it's underrated because I love Will Arnett.
Do you actually think the film is underrated?
Yes, because Will Arnett is in it, and I love Will Arnett.
Okay.
He's a really good actor.
He is.
Okay. Well, have you answered yet?
I did not.
Okay, what's yours?
Oh, I think it's underrated. I don't think
Because
it
of Will
gets
Arnett?
no, because I don't think the film gets enough credit. Like I don't know, in the sphere of Pixar, especially like when it came out. I feel like this movie got better with every rewatch. Like, because the first time I was like, oh, that was interesting and different, and then like as I got older, you know, as most Pixar movies do. But I felt like so many Pixar movies, like you got older and you were like, oh yeah, no, The Incredibles was like really good, and like Finding Nemo was really good. But I felt like Ratatouille didn't get that kind of same like, oh, but like this was.
Let's go.
Yep.
But this is none other than Smalls
And Biggs.
See
We'll
y'all
see you
next
week.
time. We love all of you and hope you guys have a fantastic week.